And my first guest joins me in studio, Mr. Tom Djokovic. He's the CEO of XsunX Incorporated, symbols XSNX. Tom, good to see you again.
It's great to be back, Don. Thanks.
Well, Tom, let's kind of go back a little bit. We haven't had you on the program a little bit. Kind of describe what's going on with the company since we last spoke.
Well, Don, I'll tell you a little bit about what we do. We kind of took a simple idea. We looked at the solar market and we realized that the single most expensive part of a solar module are the silicon solar cells. Mm-hmm. They're at least about 50% of the cost of the solar module. And then when you take that solar module and you put it into an actual installation for a working solar system, the solar cells, they continue to be the single most expensive portion of that entire assembly. So what the market really needed was a less expensive alternative for solar cells. So what we did is we took that idea, that premise, and we said, let's develop a new technology, manufacturing technology, using a thin film technology called CIGS, copper indium gallium diselenide. It's a thin film and it can match silicon. It's the only thin film that can match silicon in performance capabilities, but it's much less expensive to work with. And what we did was we've come up with a manufacturing process to essentially produce solar cells on stainless steel that match the physical size of silicon. They're not breakable, they're made out of stainless steel, and they can be offered as an alternative to silicon at about half the cost. So that's our business premise, that's the market we're going after, that's the technology we're developing and working to commercialize.
Now, when people are seeing this for the first time, they might think, okay, what is the target market that the company is going after? Can you kind of share that with us?
Well, specifically, with these solar cells, what we're looking to do is, people look at the silicon or the solar market and they say, okay, they think about solar modules, but solar modules comprise many different components to put the solar module together. And as I just mentioned, the single most expensive portion is the solar cell. And in the silicon solar cell marketplace, just the cell, not the module, in 2010, that market value was about $18 billion, wow, just for the solar cells. And the market we're going after specifically are the users of those silicon solar cells, working to provide them a less expensive alternative product for them to use other than the silicon cells, to be able to use our SIG solar cells. That's our target market. And there's several hundred manufacturers out there that use silicon solar cells that are potential customers of this technology.
Well, now using this technology, how does the company plan to go about generating revenues?
Well, that's where we've taken another little bit of a path, a little turn to the right from conventional wisdom. What's currently going on in the solar market, most companies go in and they establish a large factory. They start to build their own product. We kind of took a look at this and we said, geez, there's several hundred existing manufacturers out there who either make their own solar cells, their own silicon solar cells at well over $1 a watt, or they buy silicon solar cells to assemble their solar modules and put their name on it. And we looked at this and we said, well, there's other industries that use a licensing model. Coca-Cola is an example. Coca-Cola has lots of bottling company relationships around the world where they license their recipe to existing bottling companies who then go ahead and make the product, bottle it, and even have their own distribution supply chains. And we're looking at this as a very cost-effective, very rapid way to deploy our SIGS technology is through all these existing people. And it reduces the capital expenditure requirements for us as a company, which is a benefit to our shareholders. At the same time, helps us proliferate very quickly. We intend to make money on royalties from the manufacturing volumes of the cells that these people manufacture and use.
Now, you first started talking with us about this technology about a year ago. What kind of milestones have you hit since then?
Well, we think we've made a lot of rapid progress. What we've done is we're having to work with some technologies from the silicon space, which we've worked to try to customize and adapt to our specific process, such as printing the grids, some acid bathing technologies, things like that. And at the same time, and there's some sputtering technologies from the hard disk drive industry we're working with. At the same time, we've had to develop our own co-evaporation techniques. And co-evaporation is the method in which you produce the highest conversion efficiencies for CIGS. And so what we've done is we've been able to, over the year, work with these different technologies, establish some of the fundamental changes we need in those tools to service our needs. At the same time, we've designed and begun to start to work with our own co-evaporation system, and we started to produce samples. And we very rapidly got up to a little over 15% conversion efficiency. We've done is we've taken our ideas, we filed provisional patents. We have some new ideas we're going to be filing patents on. One's for what's called an effusion source, very critical aspect to our technology. Come up with an exciting new design that uses some new materials, and we're very promising. And also some what we call thermal management techniques for our stainless steel substrates, which are unbreakable, which are also we think are going to fundamentally change our efficiencies. So we've moved very rapidly there. We've got a number of companies in discussions for licensing purposes, and we're kind of trying to, while we're still doing a lot of research and development and product development, we're transitioning into marketing and sales as well right now.
Well, what are you doing in 2011 to bring the technology to market?
Lots of stuff, Don, but the most important thing is we're forging a relationship with a module integrator right now to start working with our product through complete module assembly, and I think that's very exciting. We're hoping to announce that formally here in the near future. I think all our shareholders are going to find that to be a very exciting event.
Well, I want to make sure we get you on the program when that announcement comes around. Again, XsunX, XSNX is the stock symbol. Tom, thanks for the update.
Thanks, Don.